Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtikir. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Verse 44. Yatsanubandhe satideha gehe mamaham iti udadura grahanam pumsam suduram vasatopi puryam vaje matatte bhagavan padabjam. Yat, because, sa anubandhe, due to becoming entangled, asati, thus being, deha, the gross material body, gehe, in the home, mama, mine, aham, I, iti, thus, uda, great, deep, duragrahanam, undesirable eagerness, pumsam, of persons, suduram, far away, vasata, dwelling, api, although, puryam, within the body, vajema, let us worship, tat, therefore, te, your, Bhagavan, O Lord, padabjam, lotus feet. Translation. O Lord, persons who are entangled by undesirable eagerness for the temporary body and kinsmen, and who are bound by thoughts of mine and I, are unable to see your lotus feet, although your lotus feet are situated within their own bodies. But let us take shelter of your lotus feet. Purport. The whole Vedic philosophy of life is that one should get rid of the material encagement of gross and subtle bodies, which only cause one to continue in a condemned life of miseries. This material body continues as long as one is not detached from the false conception of lording it over material nature. The impetus for lording it over material nature is the sense of mine and I. I am the Lord of all that I survey. So many things I possess, and I shall possess more and more. Who can be richer than I in wealth and education? I am the master, and I am God. Who else is there but me? All these ideas reflect the philosophy of aham mama, the conception that I am everything. Persons conducted by such a conception of life can never get liberated from material bondage. But even a person perpetually condemned to the miseries of material existence can get relief from bondage if he simply agrees to hear only Krishna Katha. In this age of Kali, the process of hearing Krishna Katha is the most effective means to gain release from unwanted family affection and thus find permanent freedom in life. The age of Kali is full of sinful reactions, and people are more and more addicted to the qualities of this age. But simply by hearing and chanting of Krishna Katha, one is sure to go back to Godhead. Therefore, people should be trained to hear only Krishna Katha by all means in order to get relief from all miseries. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathamritam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhamritamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kantha Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I'm so glad to be with you today morning. Thank you so much for chanting so beautifully. Uh, a lot of this verse also has to do with chanting and how we can see Krishna through this process of Krishna Katha or also Krishna Nam. So today I'd like to share with you this very enlightening and enlivening, but not only that, it's also quite a ego crushing verse if you look at it also, because it talks about the false conception of I, me, and mine, and how it keeps us entangled and stuck from seeing Krishna. Here in the translation, Srila Prabhupada translates that the thing that keeps us stuck, unable to see Krishna's lotus feet, is mine and I. So this is something that keeps us stuck. But Srila Prabhupada also says, but the lotus feet, or I should say the demigods are saying, but the lotus feet of Sri Hari are within our own bodies. But the one thing that keeps us from seeing them is this false conception of I, me, and mine. And Srila Prabhupada goes into a little bit of detail in the purport. He quotes all of these, this philosophy of aham mama. He says, this idea that I am the Lord of all that I survey. So this keeps us from seeing Krishna because we think that I am God. And then he says, so many things I possess, and I shall possess more and more. And so we can see in this materialistic civilization, so many people are after education and wealth. And Srila Prabhupada points that out in the age of Kali is full of sinful reactions. People are more and more addicted to the qualities of this age. So we can see so many examples in this age of people who are after wealth and education, and that becomes their identity. That becomes who they are. So they lose sight of Krishna. They lose sight of the person who is in their hearts at all times. He said, I am the master and I am God. So forgetting that we are not in control at all times, that Krishna is the one in control at all times. We forget this and we think that we are in control. And then who else is there but me? And here we learn about how sometimes we can think that everything is about myself. And it starts to show how jealousy and envy can infiltrate our relationships. When we think, who else is there but me? We start to think, I am everything. And right now I'm reading something from Spiritual Warrior 2 by Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. And he says something in one of his sections, jealousy and envy are not love. He again reiterates this idea that people of this age, including us, we ourselves think, I only win when you fail. I only win when you fail. We have this idea in our heads that only when someone else fails, then only we will have success. But that's not the case. We must remember, and I'm reiterating what Bhakti Swami Maharaj says. He says, remember that whenever we become envious of another person's success, we become unqualified for the blessings of spiritual life. And he further goes on to say, we must dissolve these selfish motivations in order to be acceptable for these blessings of spiritual life. So how do we get there? How do we dissolve the selfish motivations in order to be ready for Krishna's blessings, in order to see the true reality as it is, that I am not the master, I am not God, that Krishna is in fact God. And as I was speaking the invocation prayers, it came into my mind that we are saying this right before our invocation. We're saying, Nashta prayeshu avadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. We're saying that all of the bad qualities in the heart of a devotee are fully cleansed. They're all destroyed, nashta. What happens when we engage eternally, nityam bhagavata sevaya, when we engage constantly in Krishna Katha? Srila Prabhupada says, even though there are so many horrible qualities of this age, eka mahaguna, simply by hearing and chanting of Krishna Katha, one is sure to go back to Godhead. One is sure to go back to the kingdom of God. So we can understand the power of this Bhagavatam. Bhagavati uttama shloke, bhaktir bhavatir naishtike. All of the bad qualities in the heart of the devotee are gone simply by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Also in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, very popular verse, Shrinvatam Swakatha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, Hridayanto Stova Bhadrani. All of the bad qualities in the heart of a devotee, Vidhunoti Suhrit Satam, all of them are cleansed simply by the Lord himself. He comes and he cleanses all of these bad qualities from the heart of the devotee. And he replaces them with much more beautiful qualities. If you will remember, in the beginning of chapter 16 of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna has a very long list of all the beautiful qualities of the devotee. He also has a little bit of a shorter list for all of the qualities of the demoniac. But in that list of those who are devotees, there is so many beautiful things, and one of the specific qualities is akrodaha, freedom from anger. And so we can understand, as also in this verse, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada mentions permanent freedom in life from Krishna, from all of these family affections and things like that. So we can understand from this word freedom, what does it connotate? It connotates that we are actually trapped. We are trapped by our ego. We are trapped by our anger. We are trapped by aham mama. We are trapped by all of these things. But only by Krishna Katha we can gain release from all of these miseries. So in my own experience, when I feel I am stuck or trapped by my ego, I only win when you fail. I find myself constantly fighting with other people. My mind is constantly trying to find a way to put me on top. But when it can't, it's fighting and fighting and fighting. And it's a very difficult and very miserable place to be. When you're fighting, I only win when you fail. And if you see, our society is also built in such a way. There is only a few slots for certain opportunities, and people must compete in order to get them. So this whole society has been molded in order to have people think, I only win when you fail. I only win when you fail. But we know that that is not true. That the real reality is Jivara Swarupa Hoy Krishna Nityadas. We know that the real reality now is that we all have a relationship with Krishna. And so success or failure in the material world is irrelevant, really. So in this regard, I would like to read a little bit from the living name. I think it has a lot of beautiful things that can be applied here for specifically our ego and how it comes in between Krishna and us. So the main purport of this verse, the demigods are saying that people who are bound by thoughts of mine and I are unable to see Krishna. And so I was thinking, as Satyabhama Mataji was so beautifully chanting today, I was thinking about this, how I was trying to chant along with Satyabhama Mataji, but my mind kept going back to school and assignments and so many projects I have. So I want to read a little bit about what Satyananda Swami Maharaj says about this. Cursed by the illusory energy, we fluctuate between past happenings, remembered as happy or sad, and future fantasies projected to give us happiness or distress. The mind is a specialist in stewing on what he said, what she said, what he really meant by doing that, what we did and didn't do moments ago, days ago, weeks ago, and years ago. It is equally proficient at anticipating what will he do next? What will I do next as a result? What if her plan works out? Or what if it doesn't work out? What about my plan? Thus, we are either in the past or in the future, but right now we are not here. So, this is one of the small examples how, even in our chanting, even if in our meditation while we're doing our japa, how our mind can get in the way of seeing Krishna, being with Krishna, taking the association of Hare Krishna, taking the association of Radharani and Krishna, because we are bound by these thoughts of mine and I. And I am definitely one who always sees this problem in my chanting. But this verse is a reminder, and I was reflecting on this as you were chanting Satyavami Mataji. This verse is a reminder that only once we let go of these past happenings and future fantasies, of these plans, that who else is there but me, and instead focus on Krishna, who is in our hearts, then we will be able to get the true taste of the holy name. And I would like to also, in that regard, read a small part of this beautiful verse from Rupa Goswami. He compares the heart to be like a courtyard. It's from Antya Leela 1.99. And he says, I do not know how much nectar the two syllables Krishna have produced. When the holy name enters the holes of the ears, we desire many millions of ears. And when the holy name dances in the courtyard of the heart, Chetaha Prangana Sangime, Vijayate Sarvendriyanam Kritim, it conquers the activities of the mind, and therefore all the senses become inert. So from these lines, we can understand that Krishna is in our heart and he is ready to dance in our heart, but only when we listen attentively, only when we let go of these conceptions of I and mine. So this is something practical from this verse I would like to take into my own chanting. And I would like to tell you is that when we let go about what will happen, what my plans are, and instead surrender to Krishna's plans, instead be with the holy name, there is so much more bliss involved. And I had a little bit of this taste when I remembered this verse today, and I was thinking about school and assignments and all of these things on top of my head. But then I took a moment and I remembered this verse. The people who are bound by thoughts of mine and I are unable to see you, Lord Krishna. And I remembered that. And I let go of those thoughts. And I went back to my chanting and remembering each word and each syllable. And that really helped me get a taste for the holy name today. So another quote that goes on with this idea of the mind and false ego and how it stops us from really seeing reality as it is. Mark Twain, he's a wonderful American author and poet. He says, I've experienced many terrible things in my life, a few of which have actually happened. So this is showing us that oftentimes our mind can make up these big stories and exaggerate reality to a point where sometimes we don't know what's going on, what is truly happening. All right. And now I would like to, in honor of Ram Navami is coming up, there's this beautiful story of Lord Hanuman, and it beautifully brings together all the points of today's today's discussion, today's verse. And it's from Tulasi Das's oral histories. I've heard it from there. It comes down from there. So I would like to tell you a story. It takes place as Lord Rama is entering Ayodhya, and he is back to Ram Rajya. He's back to Ayodhya, and he's going to become king. And he has been coronated king, and he has, as the tradition goes, he is giving out gifts to so many people. He's giving out gifts to, and honoring, and from the war, and also from his community. So many people are standing in line waiting for some jewel, some adoration, some fame from the lips of Lord Rama. And so many people are in line, so many thousands and thousands of Ayodhya Vasis and Kishkinda Vasis and all of these people from all over the globe are standing at Lord Rama's court, waiting for some kind of adoration, fame, gift. Aham Mama. Everyone is looking for something from Lord Rama. And so Lord Rama sees this big line, and he stops for a second, and he looks at Hanuman, and he says, Hanuman, you have given me so much. You have done so much for me in this war. Is there anything I can do for you? Is there anything I can give you? And Hanuman, as always, he just shakes his head, and then he says, no, Prabhu, I am fine as I am. I don't need absolutely anything. And so he's just standing there. And Mother Sita, she comes and she takes off one of her necklaces, her beautiful pearl necklace she's wearing, and she gives it to Hanuman. And Hanuman takes the pearl necklace and he accepts it. And because it's from Mother Sita, it's prasad from Mother Sita. And so what does Hanuman do with this pearl necklace? He takes the necklace and he starts to bite it. He starts to bite it and take out each pearl. Each pearl, tries to take it out. And he throws it and takes it out, looks at each pearl, throws it, bites off another pearl, looks at it, throws it away. And Mother Sita says, Hanuman, what are you doing? And all of the court members, they begin to laugh. This monkey, he doesn't know anything. Mother Sita, she took off such a beautiful pearl necklace and handed it to Hanuman. But this monkeys don't know better. How could she do that? How can he take something from such a beautiful ornament like this pearl necklace and bite it and throw it away? And so Mother Sita asks Hanuman, what are you doing? And Hanuman says, my dear Mother Sita, oh venerable mother, it is the most valuable necklace indeed, as it has come to me through your holy hand. But I want to find out whether any of the pearls contains my beloved Lord Rama. I do not keep a thing devoid of him, and I do not find him in any of these pearls. So Hanuman, he's biting and seeing, and he tells Mother Sita this. And so Lord Ram and Mother Sita become very happy. But one of the court jesters, they say, oh, Hanuman, you say that you won't wear anything without Lord Ram. What about your body? You're wearing your body at all times, the skin, this flesh, all of this you're wearing. Tell us, is Lord Ram in this body also of yours? And so Hanuman, he proudly says, yes, Lord Ram is in my body also. And he takes apart his skin and he shows in his heart. He takes apart his skin, rips it apart, and he shows in his heart, as you'll see in this beautiful picture, Lord Ram and Mother Sita are in his heart. And also at the bottom, you'll see there's a broken pearl necklace. So this is a beautiful illustration of this story. There's Lord Ram and Mother Sita in his heart. And so immediately, Lord Ram becomes so happy with Hanuman. He goes and he tells Hanuman, Hanuman, you have asked for nothing, but you have shown me that I can give you no other gift but myself. And with this, he gives Hanuman a very big hug. And all of the court ladies and men are like, Jai Ho, Jai Ho. All glories to Lord Ram and all glories to his wonderful devotee, Hanuman. So from this story, we can see that those people who are waiting in line from Lord Ram for gifts of such as the fame and adoration and riches are all centered around this idea of aham mama, that they are thinking that I am everything. But Hanuman is different. He is instead thinking that Krishna or Lord Rama is everything. And so he has no desire for any other thing but Lord Rama. And in his heart, Lord Rama and Mother Sita are there. And in this verse, it says that the lotus feet of the Lord are situated within everyone's bodies. Even in Hanuman's body, Lord Rama is present. In our body, Lord Krishna is present. In everyone's body, the Supreme Lord is present, just like you can see in this beautiful picture. But only when we throw away these pearl necklaces that do not contain these pearl necklaces with each pearl being so much fame and adoration, until we throw this away, we won't be able to see Lord Rama, Lord Krishna inside our hearts. So this is a beautiful story that shows such a beautiful verse. I hope this helped. I know it's such a beautiful verse, and it's enlivening, enlightening, but also ego-crushing at the same time. So I would love to hear from you if you all have any realizations or reflections about this verse as well. Hare Krishna.
Any questions, realizations devotees would like to share? Yeah, everybody's done. Pin drop silence. We still are 3 minutes away from 7, so we still have time.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Surabhi Devi, for wonderfully sharing divine wisdom, especially from Lord Ram's pastime. I was also hearing about Bhavishan, how Ravana, and this spirit of I, me and mine, Ravana had to offer his 10 heads to Lord Shiva to get Lanka. They were getting, he had to offer again and again and again, do so much austerities, tapasya, to actually get all the boons so he can maintain Lanka and he can maintain his status as a Lanka Pati. But it's explained that Bhavishan, just with his one head, he bowed down to the lotus feet of Lord Ram, and he also received Lanka. He became the Lankapati after Ravana was defeated. So even if we want something, just like Guru Maharaj wanted something, if we bow down to Lord Ram, it's easily available, just with one head, with one little service. Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. So I thought let's share that during Ram Navami. Thank you so much, Surabhi.
Thank you so much for sharing, Prabhu. Yeah, I think my story, the Hanuman story, it shows how sometimes we need to let go, but your story is showing how even if we have some desire, because we all have desires for something we all have desires for. So it's not necessary that we need to do some trading with God. We can simply surrender to Lord Krishna. and He will provide everything for us.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. Also, happy Gudi Padwa today, New Year, for all our Maharashtrian devotees. So happy Hindu New Year, happy Baisakhi. That's also on this day. So we'd like to wish you all a happy Krishna conscious New Year. I'd like to wish you all a safe and Krishna conscious day ahead and offer our humble obeisances at the lotus feet of all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpataru
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much,
Mataji. Wonderful
Mataji.
class, wonderful examples. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Happy Gudi Padwa to everyone. Happy
Hare
New Year.
Bol.
Hare Krishna.